married to someone average. I don't post a lot about them. If I was married to someone beautiful, I'd overpost too.
There is something in the water in Boston. The town of Beans is polluted, dude. 2 massively viral cheating scandals have taken place in Boston in the past year. Last year, Gillette Stadium gave us the Coldplay CEO. This year, the head coach of the team that plays in that exact same stadium gave us an eerily similar cheating scandal. The New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel, also a married man, was caught on camera cuddling up with a very well-known NFL reporter, who's also a married woman, Dianna Russini. So I did some digging into this whole thing to see if it's credible, and I found several alarming videos that should have raised way more red flags for folks than they actually did. These two have been dealing with each other for quite a while now, and it's been right out in the open and in front of everybody this entire time.
Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord.
Sorry, I sing church hymnals when I'm nervous. Let me just give you the story and what happened. So 2 days before Easter, a hotel guest was hanging out at the adults-only resort in Sedona, Arizona called the Ambiente. I probably butchered that. Enjoying some perfect weather by the pool, hanging out. All of a sudden, they look up and they noticed a very famous guest walking around the pool. Shoot is in his hand. Mike Vrabel, 2-time coach of the year, current head coach of the Patriots, just took the Patriots to the Super Bowl as a head coach, won 3 Super Bowls as a player with the Patriots. Very big deal. They got excited, pull out their phone. Oh my God. Sent that off to their buddies probably, put their phone down, and then looked up a minute later and noticed another very famous guest, Dianna Russini, NFL reporter and personality, current insider for The Atlantic, was on ESPN and SportsCenter for a number of years. Also a very big deal. They pulled out their phone again. Oh my God, what are the odds? A little later that morning, the person got up out of their chair, walked around the pool, and noticed Mike and Dianna sitting in the hot tub together. Just the 2 of them. And they were like, what? I thought they were married. Maybe their family is upstairs? So they went in, had some brunch, and then they came back out, and they saw Mike and Dianna again, sitting in the part of the pool that only fits 2 people. And they were like, what? That's where the couples sit. Maybe their families aren't up yet, And then that evening, the person went out on the rooftop to see the beautiful mountain range and the sunset. And who did they see? Mike and Dianna, holding hands, hugging, dancing, all of the romantic things. Mike Vrabel has been married for 27 years to his wife, Jennifer. And Dianna has been married for 6 years to her husband, who is a corporate executive named Kevin Goldschmidt. So naturally, this is a very big deal in the sports world right now. This took off. There's been memes galore. It's been everywhere. It's basically been the biggest story in American sports this week. And that forced Mike and Dianna to make a statement. The coach told Page 6 on Tuesday, these photos show a completely innocent interaction and any suggestion otherwise is laughable. This doesn't deserve any further response. And Russini told us the photos don't represent the group of 6 people who were hanging out during the day. Like most journalists in the NFL, reporters interact with sources away from stadiums and other venues. Well, it's not laughable. It's not, because several people confirmed that they saw Mike and Dianna at that resort, and not one of them said that they were with anybody else but themselves. On top of that, the rooftop that they were dancing on was a roof that was for a 2-person bungalow.
Oh, you little harlots! You little streetwalkers!
Aside from this being a terrible thing to do, this is also a stupid thing for them to do. For those who don't follow football, let me break this down for you. Right now, Mike and Dianna are more recognizable than they have ever been in their entire lives. Mike is coming off a career year where he just signed a huge extension to coach his old football team, the Patriots, and he performed a big football game at the Bad Bunny show in his first year. Dianna also had a career year, but for the wrong reasons. There was quite a bit of controversy, which we'll get to here in a minute. They're at this level where if they go to a public place like a resort, there is a 100% chance that they are going to be recognized. And they just didn't care. What are y'all doing? What made you think this would go any different? Sources say that just 0.4% of people go to adult-only resorts without their spouses and don't cheat. And those people are resort employees.
What's the source?
Let's not talk about that right now. Now, there's been a lot of evidence publicly out now that support these affair allegations, but not from Mike. I wish I could, rag on him for this equally, but this is really his first public major controversy, and he's just like a very tight-lipped dude and very private and doesn't share much about his personal life. So there's really not much from him to go off of. That is not the case with Dianna. There have been many red flags dropped along the way that something like this would happen. For starters, Dianna has apparently done this before. She allegedly had an affair with Washington's general manager, Scott McLaughlin, however you say it, back in 2015. And this came out when Scott's wife, Jessica, tweeted at her, where she claimed Dianna was offering sexual favors for information. And on top of that, there's a few clips of Dianna talking about her husband and her home life that I think are, quite illuminating.
I'm married to someone average. I don't post a lot about them. If I was married to someone beautiful, I'd overpost too.
Hey, maybe don't overshare either. How about that?
Look, we're average together, but he makes me above average because he married me. So I am so sorry. I need to really stop killing my husband on television. I'm going to be divorced by Christmas.
I am more nervous than a T-Rex at an outreach program. Some necessary context on this clip that we're about to watch. Dianna is on a podcast or radio show talking about the stressors of covering NFL free agency. Now, for those who don't follow NFL football, being a reporter during this time period and when coaches are getting hired and fired, it is a very, very stressful time because they essentially are the reporters are just never home and they're constantly just glued to their phone, and there's so much pressure on them to report things first and report them accurately. And what Dianna is talking about in this clip is she was not prepared for the demands of this job and what it would do to her home life. And I think it paints a clear picture as to what's probably going on at home.
This I didn't sign up. I was not ready. And we're getting divorced at the end of the year.
Right. Stop. Breaking news. Don't say that.
It's hard. It's hard. We're going through it.
This isn't a pie chart. This is just pie. Just to take the edge off for a minute.
We've never been more disconnected in our lives. Our text messages look like two robots. Hello? Hello.
Just go through the motions. Is he
Safe?
getting?
Yes.
Is he
Boys
getting Eagles
alive?
insider in the divorce?
Love you. Any of that? Love you. Love you too.
No. I have a lot of work to do, guys, when I get home.
Yes.
A lot of work to do.
On your marriage, is what
Yes.
you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. My marriage. I'm going to be a full insider on my marriage the second I land.
All right. Go ahead, Taylor.
You know who lets me know my marriage is falling apart? My mom. So that's good.
Oh, does she?
Oh, yeah.
Really? What did she
I'm gonna
say?
walk over here.
What did she say to you?
This is real. Are we doing this right now?
Yeah.
Doing
Oh, yes.
this? Right.
Yeah.
Okay, when do you talk about sports? Hello?
I said, hey, thank you so much. Kev told me that you stopped by the house. You did the oh, yeah. He looks good. He looks really good. I go, yeah. I was like, he doesn't seem as stressed this year. She's like, you know what? I'm starting to think he's got a girlfriend. And you know what? Good for him.
What?
Now, you could almost have a little bit of sympathy for Dianna, having marital issues because of the high-pressure demands of her job. I'm sure it's horrible. And then you watch clips like this.
I think when men propose, that's their wedding day. Like, that's when you guys are all in. It's not really all in for us yet. I think for women, the actual wedding day is the moment. I mean, Kev was all down for it. I was the one that was very skeptical. I was like, oh, I don't know. At the time, I was working at ESPN, and I remember I was still working. And so the night before my wedding, I'm making calls, and I had a phone interview set up with Jimmy Garoppolo. I remember Jimmy was great. He made like a funny joke like, hey, it's the night before your wedding. You sure you want to do this? And I'm thinking, like, of all the people in my life that I'm going to talk to the night before my wedding, the one guy my dad wanted me to, or my mom wanted me to marry was Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's calling me. Like, this is a sign.
Okay, you don't have a shot. None of us do. I mean, look, he looks like a space cadet. And then you watch clips like this.
I did things in Miami I haven't even told my husband because it's just I had that much fun. It was well, not like that, but like I knew he would judge the kind of partying I was doing. I don't know what got into me. I just remember being down there acting like it was my last day on earth.
So studies actually show that there is a direct correlation between publicly roasting your husband on a podcast and booking a solo trip to Sedona, Arizona. And Dianna is all the way up here. So, look, I've always been a very big stand-up fan. I grew up watching it. I've always loved it. In the 80s and 90s and 2000s, it was a very common trope for comics to just make fun of their spouses and just, so I hate my wife. Several of these comics made it their shtick. It was kind of their thing. And to me, I think they're entirely to blame for married couples walking around and joking like this. I'll give you one I hate my spouse joke, and I'll be like, yeah, it's not for me. But if you make it a habit and you just walk around talking like this and weaving it into the fabric of your sense of humor, I'm going to be like, what's going on? What's going on at home? Dianna also has a very long professional history with Mike Vrabel. She's been interviewing Mike professionally for many years now. She interviewed him when he was the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. She interviewed him a few times during his first year as a Patriots head coach this past year. And Dianna has a history of speaking quite highly about Mike.
He's physically a big human being.
Yeah.
And it's a little startling at first. Very normal, right? When I say this to you, he's a very large human being and can be very intimidating.
Does Woody Johnson call Andrew Berry in Cleveland right now and say, give me Mike Vrabel? Bring him in here, clean this up?
And now this interview from last year is starting to recirculate, and people are really starting to see it in a whole new light.
All right, well, this was the most serious conversation I think I've ever had with you in 10 years.
Well, you started talking about things, and then
No,
I go
it's
into coach
good.
speak.
No, so-
I veer off into coach
No,
speak.
it was a little coach speaking, but it's all fair, and I can see, and I think people listening and watching you understand what you're trying to build. So we got to have a little fun. So I figured we'd do 50 seconds for your 50th.
50 seconds for my 50th.
Right? There's no way.
I don't think
heck
I'll be able to
it's
get
right
through
both
this
of
in
us.
50 seconds.
Words are not our problems ever. In fact, I think we both probably talk a little too much, but we can do it. Start the clock. There's no clock.
No, good.
There's no
I was
clock.
like, I'm looking for the clock.
Just pretend. You probably have one naturally in your head, as a coach. Can
50
I borrow
seconds.
your whistle?
No,
Please?
50 seconds. No, 50
I just for
seconds.
every time a new question.
No one wants to see
that
this
actually
thing.
is kind of
this
that is nasty.
I get it. This part is a little speculative. However, in my experience of watching the NFL for the past 34 years, interviewing head coaches has almost always been professional and mostly very, very serious. When is she finding the time to be so unserious with Mike all the time, to the point where they're hardly ever having serious conversations at all? And two, it's very interesting that she felt comfortable enough to ask to blow his whistle. She seems to be very comfortable swapping spit with him. Why is that? Now, in addition to this alleged affair, there's a very real possibility that these two were on some Mr. and Mrs. Smith shit this past NFL season. A lot of folks really feel like there's a strong possibility Dianna and Mike were working closely together trying to get the New England Patriots some star players in the middle of the season, which is a very serious tampering violation. During the middle of this past season, Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver superstar A.J. Brown was expressing a lot of discontentment about his role in the offense and the Philadelphia Eagles in general, and just was not happy, clearly. And there were constant rumors that he was going to be traded to the New England Patriots. And the reporter who was peddling this was Dianna Russini. Every 3 days, she was tweeting something about how it's almost a done deal, it might happen, AJ is potentially very interested in the Patriots, blah, 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 blah. And it never actually happened, but she has been still tweeting about this even as 2 weeks before the affair happened. So a lot of people are putting two and two together and actually seeing this as a very real possibility, and I'm sure this is going to be investigated. It's probably being investigated right now. Now, you're probably wondering, why would a reporter spreading rumors on Twitter affect NFL trade rumors and trades and everything like that? Well, for many reasons. NFL media is a very huge influence in the league. If information is coming from a very well-known reporter like Dianna is, it can prevent other NFL teams from making aggressive trade offers for AJ, cooling the market and letting it all funnel to the Patriots. It can completely disrupt the Philadelphia Eagles locker room because they're all reading the media and everything. So it's going to create a rift in the locker room, which it definitely did because the Eagles fell apart at the end of the year. And it's like a psychological tactic on the player. AJ, in this case, is definitely going to be reading all of these tweets and all this media and all that, and he's going to start thinking maybe the grass is greener over there in Boston. Maybe I do need to go over there. Maybe this place really is a dump. So it's a very big deal when something like this happens. This could lead to her never working again in media. And very interestingly, Dianna has multiple very personal reasons as to why she would want the Patriots to succeed over the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm not talking about just her relationship with Mike.
Yeah, I just don't want to be around those people. Like even just this morning, my husband said 2 words to me. He's an Eagles fan. And I'm like, this can't be a thing. Like I don't want to be the household that is shaped by the result of a football game. Like A, grow up. B, you're a father. I don't want our children having a culture where mommy and daddy's tone in this house is based on the result of the Philadelphia Eagles. Who cares? So stupid.
Oh, Dianna Mussolini. God.
All this house should be focused on is how to give me ability to do my job at a better level. I've asked him to quit. I'm like, I don't care about your job. I don't care about your career goals. I don't care that you work 50 hours a day.
Oh my God, she might be a witch. She might be a witch. So what happens from here? What happens to these two? They're going to lose their jobs, whatever. Well, as I'm recording this today, April 15th, Dianna Russini has resigned from her position at The Atlantic. The publication launched like an investigation a couple of days ago looking into it, and it seems like they found something pretty credible, or else she wouldn't be resigning. And they probably found something about the tampering violation too. Now, what happens with Mike is probably going to be a little trickier, because if you don't know anything about the history of the New England Patriots for the past 25 years, you know that they are very familiar with controversy. And I think the controversies give us a pretty strong indication of how the Patriots in the NFL are probably going to handle this. Well, let me give you a rundown of all the controversies that they've been through. In 2007, the Patriots staff was caught illegally videotaping the New York Jets coaching signals and play calls, which is infamously named Spygate. The team and the head coach, Bill Belichick, were fined, and the team had to forfeit a first-round pick. In 2013, star Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez was arrested for murder, and the team released him 2 hours later. During the 2015 AFC Championship game versus the Colts, the Patriots were accused of intentionally deflating footballs to gain an advantage over the Colts, which became known as Deflategate. There was this huge legal battle. The quarterback, Tom Brady, was suspended for 4 games for hiding evidence. The team got fined $1 million, and they lost 2 draft picks. 2019, they had another Spygate. Yes, another one. The Patriots production crew got caught recording the Bengals sideline and their play calls from the press box. And so they just got fined $1 million and they lost a 3rd-round pick. And then that same year, Patriots owner Robert Kraft was caught on a secretly recorded video at a massage spa getting a little something extra from 2 female employees. He was getting a tucky. All right. Robert was charged with a word that YouTube will not allow me to say on here, but the charges were later dropped after the judge ruled that the video evidence was illegally obtained. So nothing ever really happened. Now, I don't know about you. Something tells me that not much is going to happen with Mike Vrabel. I think he's going to get a slap on the wrist, and that's going to be it. I don't think the owner is going to care too much, and I don't think he's in a position to care because he's had his own scandal. The only way I could really see him being fired is if this next season the Patriots start sucking. If Mike loses the locker room chemistry and things start falling apart there, which is very possible, then something like that could happen. But Mike just took the Patriots to the Super Bowl in his first year as a head coach. He also won 3 Super Bowls as a player with the Patriots, so he's kind of a hero in that town. I don't think they're really going to care. The only way that this is going to affect anything is if this whole scandal causes a distraction with the team. But we'll see, I could be wrong. We'll see. Now that we've talked about alpha male football players, let's talk about an alpha male guru who thinks men should stop pooping and peeing all the time. Yeah, I'm serious. Click the box in the top left-hand corner, and I will see you over there. That is my time. Toodles. That is my time. Toodles.